but I don't have any money left. I just wasted it all. Chandra ponders for a moment. Of course you could use the dinner money instead to entertain your peasants, but I wouldn't recommend it. The rooms of the crow change with the wind. They will forget your generosity after the first bad harvest. For the peasants or for the rich? Honestly, I don't care about the rich. I will go against her advice. We shall hold a fair for the common people. I want them to know that I hold them closest to my heart. Cheap populism has never done anyone any good. You would throw your money to the wind without achieving anything. But it's your decision, Your Grace. It is. Back off. I know what I'm doing. It's my first day. I have 20 years experience and I'm like 18. I don't know how old I am, but I'm like young, I think. Harem looks embarrassed. He runs his fingers through his beard and clears his throat a few times. And speaks at last. I heard, not that it is important, but, well, he clears his throat again. Are you sick? I heard that an ancient trade road built by the dwarves of the Five Kings Mountain runs through these lands. I don't know what happened to them, or where they went. And forgiving time spares no one. But the road itself is still here. And possibly not only the road. Harem holds his beard in his fist. Well, Sam, I have a request. If you find any dwarven ruins in the area, I'd like to see them with my own eyes. Why do you ask this? Well, he wants to sightsee? See his ancestors? Harem fills with his bird again. I shouldn't, probably. But it's like a wound that's never healed. You know it will only hurt more. But you still need to scratch it. Of course it's foolish. Foolish and vain. But still, I wish to look at them. Of course, Sharon. I'll find any dwarven ruins, I'll take you to them. Actually, no, I probably won't, but... Thank you, Sam. I will, thank you. I probably won't. Your Grace, I was at Oleg's trading post recently and I noticed this old Bokken just standing there. Bored to death with nothing to do. This is most unfortunate. After all, the old grumbler is a very knowledgeable alchemist. However, he has no use for his skills. Since the locals need nothing more than the simples of healing potions. And then it struck me. We could execute him. Just for the fun. Why don't you hire him as your court alchemist? His decoctions and tinctures would certainly prove most useful to you. Also, it might be cheaper than simply buying from him or some other merchant. Yes, okay, sure, why not? I could need a court jester.
Trail me.
Chandra Murvey, envoy from the Royal Horse of Bravery, bows her hat courteously. Baron, it's good to see you, she says sarcastically. I'd like to learn more about you. You're well within your rights, Your Grace. What would you like to know? But what panties do you wear? Indulge my curiosity. Do you have family, close relatives I could abduct? Of course, a daughter and 2 grandsons. The boys are a bit spoiled, but they show promising talent. I hope they will go far. Chandra shakes her head, a faint smile on her face. And where do they live, huh? Could you tell me? Now, if you were to ask me where they live, I would have to promptly redirect the conversation. The first thing any good diplomat learns is to hide their weak spots. Not of bravery, only Lady Natala and King Noleski know where my family lives. Is this why you help them, your first? You must have seen a lot over your years of diplomatic service. Do you have any stories that stick out as particularly interesting? An interesting story, you say? Well, I once had to spend a summer in Athum, the small kingdom in the River Kingdoms, suffered from frequent bandit raids, and one gang, and particularly practically a small army, was especially troublesome. Yet someone managed to find information from within the court. This unfortunately gave them plenty of information to interfere with trade in the area, including trade with bravery. I announced to the court that I was awaiting the arrival of a particularly valuable caravan, and Actium's ruler were to take measure to ensure its safety. A squad was sent to meet the caravan, but the bandit gang struck and swiftly slaughtered the soldiers, capturing the cargo. The bandit leader was triumphant, and 3 merry birds started spreading news of his victory far and wide. The next day, a different gang attacked the first, hoping to seize the treasure from them. A week later, 2 more gangs entered the fray, then more and more. Eventually, all the bravery guards had to do was recover the stolen goods from a field of corpse. So for the cost of 3 bards' time, we were able to protect our merchants and expose the bandits' information from the court. I hope this simple tale can provide some insight to you, Your Grace. And you're a snake. You killed people. You sacrificed some poor little guards. So they bandits attack each other. Thank you. Let's speak of less personal matters. Of course, Your Grace, I need to discuss politicals and affairs of the barony with you. I just thought I'm here for Your Grace. She sounds probably very annoyed right now, sighing out loud. What's the situation between the royal house Sutov and the Aldori Swordlords? Answering this question will involve delving a bit deeper into history. You're surely aware that the Sutovos and the Aldori each ruled their own sovereign kingdoms in the past. And Coral, the Conqueror... Who the fuck named this guy Coral? Conquered invaded our lands. His might was incontestable. The Sutovos recognized this and bowed to him, exchanging their crowns for status as a noble house. They were able to not only retain the house's influence in the region, but also save the lives of their subjects. In typical Aldori fashion, they choose to mount a reckless campaign against Coral's forces, without so much as scouting the size of his army. As a result, their own army were decimated when they encountered his red dragons. Instead of taking a lesson from the tragedy, the Swordlords choose to nurse their grievance over the past 200 years. And now they may have finally found a way to strike back. The Aldori aren't even a true noble house. They're a mortally rabble of upstarts who take their name after they learn the secrets of the Swordlord's ruling style. There's a little actual noble blood spread among them, but they're impulsive and ambitious. They obsess over the past rather than focusing on the current and future prosperity of bravery. They need to be controlled, and House Hatava can see that clearly. That's the situation as I understand it, Your Grace. Ugh. Mercy. What can you tell me of the River Kingdoms? Oh my god, I'm not reading that. I don't care. How long will you be staying with us? I hope you leave not soon. No. I remain for as long as Lady Sotava deems it useful. You need the advice of an experienced advisor, so I'll provide you with the information to the best of my ability until my lady calls for my return. That sounds not good. Do you like your new position? Whether I enjoy a thing is not the point of discussion. You're so boring. I may estimate your polite words are a way to express concern over my ability to fulfill my obligations. I assure you, I haven't encountered any situation I was not equal to. I shall seek audience with you only in case where I believe the problem demands the ruler's personal decisions. Jesus, loose up, little girl, old woman, lady. Okay, Mike Crab. Meow.
Step.
Gerson.
How may I serve you, Your Grace?
What did you do to be exiled? I believe I have a right to know. Didn't we already ask him this? We did ask that.
I ask for pity. Everyone gets what they deserve.
If I were to offer you a public position, what job would you like to do?
I believe I can manage to uphold the law. Being a warden would suit me well.
I can see that. How do you like it in my party? I think it's grand. You have a fine gang of lunatics here. I myself am no noble from high society. For But seriously, Octavia and I never even dreamed of a leader like you. We imagined we'd sit in the woods and rob wagons, maybe join a band of mercenaries. We never expected to become the henchman of a local ruler. Not to mention such a pretty one. Rengar winks at you playfully. But you and Octavia were together, wouldn't she be jealous? Octavia and I are connected, and this connection cannot be broken. We grew into each other, you know? Jealousy is for weak cowards who don't trust. Didn't you say this already? And I decided, yes, you did. Oh, are you serious? You better not joke like that. Whatever happened to like you too? Halfork approaches you closely and looks eyes with you. And what if it's not a joke, huh? The Powsy steps back and laughs heartily. I'm joking. Am I? We can discuss it later. Another time and place. I will hold you to it. As long. If you want to know anything else, just ask. Don't be shy. Just don't go pale when an answer. Oh, buddy. He's not wasting time. Storyteller. The man standing before you resembles an elf, but a very old one. His face is wrinkled and his beard is as white as mountain snow. The man seems to be completely blind. The man stares past you with unseeing eyes. He seems to be consumed in his thoughts. He mutters a soft melody, swaying back and forth slightly to its rhyme. The man shudders briefly and stops singing. Shudders briefly and stops singing. His mouth opens and closes a few times, bringing to mind a fish brought ashore. Ah, who's there? Is that you, Your Grace? Who are you? I'm an elf from Kyonin. My name is not important. I'm the Storyteller, collectors of stories. I collect unknown legends of ancient times. The man smiles, but doesn't seem to be directed towards you. Long ago, I was a smith in Kyonin. The fire of the forge has burned out my eyes, but I'm grateful for it. I could see over the 8-forged suits of armor for Idara's guards. Instead, I've stepped on the path of an adventurer and gatherer of ancient legends. Old man ponders silently for a moment. Many people are long dead, their homes crumble to dust, and their bodies turn to ash. Only legends can still tell us of their triumphs and defeats, their joys and fears. I'd be so interested to hear the stories told about us after our demise. I've always been drawn to the Stonelands, where countless expeditions, armies and even kingdoms have met their untimely ends. When I learned of a new barony being founded in the heart of the lands, I knew I wanted to be part of its story. So I made the journey